You're listening to the Scandalous Beauty Podcast, a makeup and beauty show hosted by Erin Bainham. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7 of the Scandalous Beauty Podcast show. I'm excited to bring this interview with Delina Medhin, who is a makeup artist. She is a YouTuber and probably one of the most relatable and interesting and fun and articulate and just amazing people you will meet that has hit that YouTube space and has hit the professional makeup artist space. So this is going to be a really good interview. We actually just, we had an organic beauty conversation. I had a list of questions and we totally did not follow that list of questions at all. I'm pretty sure we got to the essentials, but it was just a great beauty conversation with somebody I met, 3-4 years ago at the makeup show in New York. So this is a really fun interview. I'm excited to bring it to you, and we'll just go ahead and get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Erin Bainham. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Scandalous Beauty. So I have a personal Instagram and I have one for the show. So if you want to follow either of those, that would be amazing. Also, if you get a chance, please subscribe and review the Scandalous Beauty Podcast when you get a chance. It actually helps more people find the podcast. So there's like a little related section in the podcast player. And the more people that actually rate and review, then the bigger chance that the podcast will pop up in that related section. So any help would be fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we dive into the interview, I wanted to tell you about the Sephora subscription box called Play by Sephora. So I got this in the mail just yesterday, and this is the May 2017 Rising Stars Play box. So basically what happens is you pay $10. You don't know what you're going to get. They do give you kind of like a little preview ahead of time. So they'll say like, here's one brand that'll be in the Play by Sephora box. So, I guess it adds an element of surprise and suspense. But I got this subscription box, and let me tell you, my hesitation for subscription boxes is you just never know what you're going to get. Like, I'm paying ultimately most of the time for samples. Sometimes they're full-size, products, but not all the time. And this is in beauty boxes. This isn't in other boxes. Like, I've looked at candle subscription boxes. I've looked at spices and like kitchen stuff. I've looked at some home ones. Still tinkering with the natural hair ones, but I have locks, so I don't really use that much stuff. However, my son has a lot of hair. My daughter has a lot of hair, so I think about getting stuff for them. Overall, my hesitation is I'm paying for stuff that I'm not going to want or use. So pretty much this May 2017 Play by Sephora box, my very first one, validated that fear. Like, I will probably not use most of the things in here. However, I'm just going to read you the list so you can hear what I got. Plump for Joy by Grande Lips, which is a lip plumper, and it's a clear lip plumper. I have full lips. I will never in my life use a lip plumper, so that was a waste. I'll be giving that away. This Tata Harper resurfacing mask I am here for. I am really excited about that. This is a tiny, I'm just gonna look for it in the box. It comes with a little insert that gives you all the information, so I'm basically just reading off the insert. But this Tata Harper mask is a 0.25 flowing ounce jar, which is 7.5 milliliters. A resurfacing mask. So basically it just gets all the surface skin, the dull stuff. It kind of sloughs that off, but it's not a gritty like scrub. It's more of a gel like texture. So I'm really excited about that. I've been looking at that brand for a while. I've been on a skincare quick kick for like months now, so that was great. Milk Makeup Blur Stick, which is a matte coverage blurring stick. Basically a primer that minimizes pores and fine lines. I swatched it on my hand. I put a little on my face. I don't know. Again, this is another one. It's creamy. It looks like it's invisible. Well, it's not creamy. It's a stick, but it's still a cream. And I just, you know, I'm gonna try it out. I'm not going to cast it off automatically, but it's something I would never look at in the store. But maybe that means it's a good thing. I don't know. This looks Trestique. I'm just gonna guess that's what it is. It's a highlight and perfect multi-purpose stick, and the color is Maldives. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Ooh, don't kill me. Luminescent, and this is very pale girl friendly. It's just very light, and I will likely never use that. So the next is a cleansing purifying scrub, which I got excited about for a second, and then I realized it was for your hair. This could possibly work. Sea salt, I do use a lot of that. Sea salt sprays because of my seborrheic dermatitis. So basically cradle cap, like for the skin, for the hair, and kind of on the face and stuff. So it could have been a win. I just don't know how it's going to deal with my locks, and will I be able to get it all out, and will I miss any? And I don't know. So I'm probably not going to use that. Maybe I will around my hairline. I don't know. And then received 2 small like fragrance samples, which I'm more of a vanilla girl, warm, spicy girl. So I'll likely not use those. So I don't know what the next few boxes hold from Play by Sephora. This particular box did not sell me on the service, so I can't say whether or not I will be subscribing to the next one. Most likely I won't be. I'll probably just try something new. I'm glad that I did try it. However, you can look on the website and see what was in past boxes. Maybe I didn't review that well enough, but this one didn't win for me. So we'll see what I decide to do. I'll definitely let you guys know for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the interview with Delina Medhin.
Gotten real in these streets. Like, you got to leave, with your contour highlight. You can't just be leaving the house all regular anymore.
Girl,
like people are on 10.
Yes.
At like 7 a.m. I'm on the train. Like, really? Y'all are ready.
Yes.
Y'all stay ready.
Hey, man, I'm like, did you really need all that highlight to go up the street? I guess so. I guess so.
I know. Yeah, no, they're like, yeah, I did, girl. You need some? I have it in my bag. You want it right now? Good. I'm good.
I know. I feel so basic. I'm like, okay, well, and then the kicker is if I ever tell anybody that I have I don't really have a blog anymore, but if I ever say that I do, they're like, but you don't even wear makeup. I'm like, girl, I know. I don't.
Girl, you should hit him with? You should be like, neither does Pat McGrath, but she's still a boss.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one. And that's true, because I'm like, she comes out dark circles and all. Pat McGrath does not care.
Pat McGrath is so boss. Like, she's amazing. I mean, she's amazing. She's so talented. She shows up and she's just so cool. She's so awesome. I like, but you know what though? Real talk, that's like goals. Like, you want to show, like, you want to be so boss, you can show up with no makeup on. People are like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, cause really, it doesn't really, the whole thing is, it's like, obviously your brand is important. Like, branding is always important, but like, also, like, I'm here to paint your face. Like, not, like, you guys don't need to be too worried about me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Know this. Okay. With about 10 train cases of makeup. Okay. I'm like.
Right? I know, right?
And then.
Yes.
Yeah. And then charging $130 for my 3 or 4 products in my sequin bag. And y'all gonna buy it too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know, right? I know. I didn't actually get, I haven't tried Pat's. I tried it. Like, I think the what do you call it? Those dual sticks, the ones with the shimmer.
Yes.
It's not shimmer, it's a glow, but it has like one side is like a glossy, and then the other side is more like like a cream, but not. I don't even know. Maybe a balm is a better word to describe it. And then the other side is like like the highlight, but it's like the perfect highlight though. It's like not too much shimmer so it doesn't overtake your face. Like I'm not trying to see my highlight from like the moon and the stars, like I just need it to look like beautiful skin,
Yes.
glowy, enhanced. Like that's what I love.
That I wholeheartedly agree times 9,000. And hopefully at some point, I mean, I would love to see how makeup shifts. This was not supposed to be in the episode, by the way. This is just apparently us getting into a conversation really early on.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
I just I wonder where makeup is going to go as far as like how much more can we do? Like where?
Well, I know what you mean. Like, I definitely agree with you. Like, there's so many product lines right now that are out. There's so many new things to try. Like, side note, I just tried these shadows from Juvia's Place, which is like a Black-owned brand. Did you know them?
No, but did you post about them on Instagram stories?
Just today.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to the makeup show this weekend, which is like one of my absolute favorite shows ever. Like, I think that the makeup show is like the best show. If you're a makeup artist, a working makeup artist, or even just a really serious makeup enthusiast or blogger, like it's a really, really cool show because it's like all the pros go to that show. Like Bobbi Brown was there.
What?
I know. She was there for a couple hours on Sunday. And then just like people who are just like teaching and really like serious about makeup go to that show. So I think it's really cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like there's so many product lines. I think that I don't know. I mean, I think that maybe there needs to be some kind of like mixture with like tech and makeup that hasn't really happened yet. Hopefully maybe that'll be a thing. Because I don't think we've really explored that much,
That's fun. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything at this point that's not, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, every palette I feel like has already come out. Every lip color has, like every texture. I don't know. And everybody is coming out with a line. I mean, you don't even have to be like huge anymore. I mean, you could just be the person that wants to outsource this, whatever you want to do. I don't know. Okay, we don't have to get into that. So
no, that's okay. That's cool. I agree with you that there are so many lines, and I think there is a little bit of like duplication going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way that if you want to actually start a line is like you look and see like what am I like let me look at my kit, let me like actually like explore and see what's out there, and then like do I feel like I'm adding anything new?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like you're adding anything new, then I don't know if it necessarily, to me, like working for yourself or being an entrepreneur, the goal is really to be doing something that inspires you daily. And I don't see how inspired you'd be if you were creating something that already existed. Do you know what I mean?
Truth. Well said. So I
Thanks.
had to pause the interview to let you guys know that all of that was just us talking naturally like homegirls who have known each other for 20 years, right? So now we're going to spend some time trying to figure out how we met because we don't remember, and then it goes off into an entirely new beauty conversation. All right, here we go. Who introduced us at the makeup show?
I don't know who introduced us at the makeup show.
Me either. I remember meeting you. I don't remember who
introduced us.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll take it back. Well, I swear.
I don't know, you've been my friend in my head for a really long time though, to be fair. Like I've known about you for a very long time. So possibly maybe you know what I mean? Like you are like one of the first, like no shade to everybody else who feels like they are the first. Like I was even looking, like I joined YouTube like in like 2007 in November, and I looked and you joined in like August.
Dang.
Of 2007. I was like, whoa, like that's like 10 years ago.
That's insane. That is so insane. Like, and looking back, oh man, it was like the good old days, man. How do you feel? So this is so out of whack, but how do you feel now creating content? I mean, does it feel the same to you? Do you feel like you did back in the day?
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same. Like we used to just like turn on our cameras and just shoot. And it used to like, it didn't matter if like your cat was in the background. Like I don't have a cat, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could literally just like, it didn't matter. It didn't need to be a production, and it was organic and it was fun. It was like, not overly produced.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the thing is like, you know, when YouTube first started, you know, too, like, I mean, there wasn't any option to make money.
Right.
Like, it was like you were literally creating content because you wanted to.
Yes.
And so it was just like anything else, like Zanga, you remember like the old school, like blogging, like, yeah, you'd like talk, you'd say something and then people would be like, girl, you know what else this other person did? And then they'd be like, I think she was talking about me on her Zanga. Like, you know that? But like YouTube was kind of like that. Like you could just, in fact, like a funny story is like my first video that I did, like I didn't even tell anybody I put it up. Cause like that wasn't like back then it wasn't. Now people are like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube. Like back then, like you would like not try to like not be like, I felt like it was more normal. You were trying to like be discovered by other people that didn't know you.
Yes. Yes.
Like, don't know me, please.
No, yes. And it was so organic, and so it was like a little scary until you were really out there, and then you felt like the people commenting they were your homegirls. I mean,
they were like, it was, you had real conversations. I remember getting on AIM and talking to like, do you remember X Sparkage?
Yes.
She was like I follow her now actually on Instagram too. And I mean, obviously still on YouTube, but YouTube is such a mess now. Like you can't even see what your subscriptions are doing. It's so lame. Like, I'm like, guys, like I really want to know who I'm subscribed to. Yeah. I can't find it anymore.
Preach.
But yeah, but on Instagram, I'm subscribed to X Sparkage, and like Leisha. I guess she goes by Leisha now. But like I used to like message her on AIM.
Wow.
And like be like we used to like talk back and forth on like AIM and stuff. Like AIM is AOL Instant Messenger for those of you who are not. For those of you who are like way younger than me, and like, yeah. But AIM was. Like, you know, we just talked on there. Like, I remember asking her because this was before I got a makeup job, and she was working at MAC at the time, and she only worked at MAC for like a really short period of time. I don't know if you remember when she was like vlogging about that.
No,
but
you were gangster. You were definitely.
I was in it. Like I remember, like I love, like YouTube was like oh my gosh, I was obsessed. It was like my TV.
Yeah,
like I watched it all the time. So, yeah, but she was talking about like makeup and stuff, and she was working at MAC, and like I was like messaging her. I was like, I have my interview tomorrow. Like I don't know what to do, and she was like, it's okay. She was like, just be yourself. Like seriously, like you just need to have a personality. Like that's the most important thing. And it is kind of that's kind of true in life. But like I felt like it is true especially when it comes to like working at a counter, and they just want to know you can talk to customers.
That's real.
You know?
Yeah. It's definitely not like Artistry. It's like,
yeah, they're just like, hey girl, like can you match a foundation and can you talk to people?
Girl, ain't that the truth? I need you to sell 3 items. I need to be over $50, and
I know you worked at MAC too. Then you know about that AUS. You know about that AUS, girl. You gotta make sure you do that under wraps.
I haven't heard that in so long. I mean, I got out of it a really long time ago, but I was pretty much I was on call freelance, and they just didn't have a lot of people. Oh my gosh, it was such a different time. Like just thinking, you know, back then there was money. So if you needed, you know, if they needed to fill hours, they could just do it easily. They didn't have to, you know, fill full positions because they had their freelancers. You know, the girls that needed could just call, and we would just be in there, and it was just, I mean, it was like such an exciting time to be doing it, and everything.
Yeah, Mac was the jam back in the day. People were like, "You work at Mac?"
Right. And it's so strange to me. Like I never ever thought we'd be at this point where Mac is like, "Oh, we're coming to Ulta," and we have an influencer announcing some new palette that we're coming out with. I'm like, what?
I know that had me like, I am so confused right now. Because I always put MAC on, like, it was interesting. Like, MAC was always in a very interesting place. It was, like, for a long time, it was almost considered a very prestigious brand, even though it didn't really have, like, Chanel, YSL, Guerlain kind of prices. Right. And so, like, especially for women of color, that was one of the brands that really was a lot more inclusive than all of the other ones. So I think that we specifically were really, really drawn to them. And I mean, things have changed. I mean, there's a lot more indie brands that I feel like are really hitting the mark now, but, and like have definitely surpassed. In fact, to be honest, I don't have any MAC skincare. Oh, except for their face and body. I love their face and body. But like, I don't really have any MAC like foundations and stuff like that in my kit anymore.
That's amazing. You just never thought that day would come. I mean,
girl, in Ulta,
in
Max and Ulta.
like what
It's
is
in July, right? That's when they're supposed to be launching it.
Yes. Well, they sent out an email saying like you can buy online now. I was like,
Man.
what? I know. And I like open the email and I'm sorting through, and it just looks so strange to see a MAC lipstick on an Ulta website. It just doesn't make sense. And maybe 10 years from now, if they're still there, it will. But
wow.
Yeah.
Maybe they're suffering, you know? Maybe they're not making the money that they thought that they would be making, so they had to expand. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Like you have to grow now in a very different way, and I think there's a lot of companies that are really trying to figure out like this whole internet space. Like I think they thought they could ignore it for a really long time, but influencers are so powerful. Yes. You know? You can't ignore them anymore. You have to collaborate with them. And like, I just don't think they understand how to. So at first it was like throwing so much money at them where it was like, you know, they're getting like millions of dollars for campaigns. And it's really like, yeah, you have 1 million followers, but it's like, but how much is your actual influence? Like what kind of, you know what I mean? What are you actually posting? Are you posting makeup pictures? Or are you posting pictures of you in like, you know, like clothes where you're like super fitted and a lot of guys are following you that don't buy makeup?
Girl, you better preach. Because sometimes I'm like, what is like, why am I following you? Like, am I following you for the makeup or for you and your body contrast?
No.
Right.
Oh, I know. It's so interesting. It's like, because it's also like, because I also really love high fashion, and a lot of that doesn't really include those kinds of like, you know what I mean? Like high fashion a lot of times is a lot about layering and like putting a lot of like different pieces together. Don't get me wrong, I am not a stylist. I definitely don't know what I'm doing, but I know when something looks right. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I'm like, I know when something looks like it could be in like Vogue or like W. I'm like, okay, yes.
And I'm like, I'm all here for, you know, Fashion Nova if you're going on vacation with your boo. But is that the whole thing? Is that what's happening all the way down your Instagram feed? Because
I don't. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Yeah.
So how did you get started with makeup and becoming a makeup artist? And in my mind, so this is where we started a long time ago. And my point was, I don't know who introduced us, but I thought they told me you were a model at that time. So
that is so funny.
That's why.
No, because like when you told me, you said, "Oh, are you a model?" I was like, "Girl, no." Like there are no model photos of me. I think I've sat like maybe once for like, but it's always been for makeup artists.
Nikki Posley, that's what it was.
Yeah. So my friend Nikki, which is it's funny actually. The way we became friends was through that. He's an amazing artist. I love him. And just a really kind person. And so like he asked me to sit down with him and like if I would sit for him and have him do my makeup. And I was like, yeah, sure. That's awesome. So yeah, I sat for his class before. So maybe that's why.
Okay. That makes, I spent way too much time after I got your email, like looking through. I'm like, I know she's a model. Like I know I've seen her do something. And that's exactly what it was. It was Nikki Posley. That is it.
So funny.
And now I feel better. Okay. So how did you get started in makeup artistry? What was that journey like?
Okay, so I first became a makeup artist. So I've been doing makeup for 10 years. I started at the MAC counter, like we were talking about earlier, just hanging out and when like we were saying, it was this very like, it was very cool when back in the day when you worked at MAC or whatever. And so I think it was one of those goals. And so for a while I was a freelancer, and then I went to Lancome and worked there for a little bit. Then I came back and was like I was never a full-timer at MAC. I did like maybe 20 hours at the most per week. But shortly thereafter, I ended up getting like a 9 to 5 job because I realized that I wanted to do like bridal makeup, and to do most of your bridal appointments, you have to do the appointments, like the consultations and stuff in the evening. And then on the weekends would be the bride. So it's like if you're a part-timer at MAC, you never have weekends off. And you never have nights off, really. So it's like, you know, I just knew I couldn't do both. So anyways, I started in bridal, and about 3 years ago, I moved to New York because I really wanted to do fashion.
Where are you from?
From North Carolina, in Raleigh. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Raleigh, North Carolina. And then I moved to New York. And 3 years ago, I was still working like a full-time job when I first got here. And I was I was in sales, actually, which is kind of like a unique, interesting thing, I think, because not a lot of makeup artists, I think, are as comfortable with sales or like selling, I think. But yeah, so I did sales for a while. And then like 2 years ago, I became a full-time freelance makeup artist. So that's like all I do now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is the dream, girl.
I know, right? Working for yourself. I mean, it's definitely something that took me a while to get a little bit used to, because you have to create a routine within the same space, like you can't just, you have to be flexible, but at the same time have somewhat of a routine, so you're not like every day not getting things done. You need a to-do list. You know what I mean?
That is real. I cannot imagine like not having so much flexibility. I know for me, I would be the worst worker ever. So kudos to you, because there's so much TV to catch up on, and social media is just in your face all the time. And
all the time.
I'd be the worst at it, but let me not dive in there. Okay. So as far as makeup artistry goes and your journey on YouTube, when did you get started? Well, I know when you got started on YouTube, but if you could just give us a synopsis of what your channel was about and when you got started and all that good stuff from back in the day.
Okay. So I got started back in like 2007, which is like 10 years ago, which is insane. I know, right? It's
Jeez.
Like, that's a long time ago. Like, I feel like I should be Michelle Phan by now, but
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right.
We know Michelle was putting in that real work.
Yes, she was, girl.
She was out here making that money. So, but yeah, I started 10 years ago, and I really have always loved blogging or vlogging. There have been periods of time within that I like literally was just like not even logging onto YouTube at all. The most interesting thing I found, though, is that over the past couple years, that's where I've seen the most growth. Like, I felt like for years that didn't feel like anything was happening. And then over the past couple years, and I think that might also be because YouTube and Instagram kind of go very close together now. And so even though I wasn't spending as much time on YouTube, I was still kind of putting things into other social medias, and they kind of start to balance each other. So, but yeah, I love YouTube. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome way to, like, you can produce, direct, like, write your own stuff and make it everything you want it to be. And it's so unique, it's such a unique ability to be able to do that. Some people even, like, they make a living off of just doing YouTube. That's really cool. Like, you get to create your own content, do whatever you want to do, make your own schedule every day. Like, that's awesome. I think it's great.
I agree. Now, do you ever on social media, I feel like I see a lot of talk about people saying like, oh, well, a YouTuber said to do this and that's wrong. Or they seem to put people on YouTube in like a category, like a fake makeup artist category or something. Do you ever notice that at all?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. Like, I actually made a video about that not too long ago, and it was like, are you a real makeup artist or a YouTuber? Like, is the name of my video. And it's just like, because I wanted to address how we can learn things from each other. And I really think that, being a YouTuber is a great thing. Like, it gives you flexibility. It helps you, like, you can go anywhere, do anything, try anything. Like, there's a lot less nobody's your boss. You're your boss, right? So like as a makeup artist, a lot of times when you show up on set and you're working for a client, they tell you what they want, and then it's your job to execute that vision, which is also a talent. But like, I'm trying to think about the best way to say, like both of those worlds, if they're kind of combined, they can just make such an impact. Like think about like Mario Dednovic, who does like, you know, Kim, and like how he's used social media to really like, you know, I mean, he has Kim, who's like the social media queen. I mean, she's like, she knows how to market herself. Like whatever it is that she's doing, she's making it something that you want to watch because she knows how to put out like pump out a lot of content. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like Mario really took that and kind of did a similar thing. And it's funny because people say Mario is Kim's makeup artist, but but she has a lot of makeup artists. Like she doesn't just have him. So like it's very interesting. He did a very smart like marketing thing where he was like, I'm going to like coin myself as this person. Like, you know what I mean? And so like a lot of people started looking and being like, oh, okay, great. Like Mario's that person. Another person who I think would be great to look at for like social media, who's also a working makeup artist, is Renny Vasquez. I think he's a boss at social. Like he knows how to post. He knows how to put out a bunch of content. He just had a class come out and like literally had like 2,000 people attend his webinar that he had. And he started posting it maybe 3 days before it started, or like a week, maybe a maximum a week before.
That was insane.
It was insane. So like, I think that the power of using those two things and like, you know, cause you're teaching people. So how can you, and then you have people like, I'm trying to think about like a beauty blogger that's really big. Desi Perkins, like who's with Ipsy, right? Like she's doing like a lot of like, she's doing a lot of her own videos where I don't think she wants to be a makeup artist, but she does her own videos and people like to see that kind of content as well. But I don't know. I saw a video that Desi did recently about how she does her brows, and it's very similar to what we're doing backstage. So I was like, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very interesting to see like the trends kind of go back and forth. I think the problem is that what people are looking at is when people want to be exactly the same. There's too much similar everything. How do I do it just like you versus how do I do it and make it the way that I think it should fit my style or my personality. Being an individual is just important, no matter if you're a makeup artist or a blogger. I think you just have to explore yourself, you know?
I love that. That's so true. And I'm starting to see, I mean, even I kind of fought with this for a minute. Like, I really wanted to dive back into YouTube. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I'm like, oh, well, I have to have a background because that's what everybody's doing now. And I got to get a ring light because that's what everybody's doing now. And I'm like, oh no, now I'm a clone of what everybody else is doing. And now I feel so, it doesn't feel right. It's not authentic. It is not real. I mean, what is the point of even really doing this? But I love that you summed it up in that way. That was very well said.
Thanks. Yeah, I understand, man. It's like, it's a lot of setup. It used to just put on your camera, and now it's like 5 lights have to go up, and like, what does the background look behind me? Like, we used to not care, like literally not care. I don't think people understand that now that are getting into YouTube. Like, their mind goes to big production set.
Yes.
And, you know, like they're thinking like Hollywood film. And we were like thinking like, I'm in my room and I'm going to turn on my digital camera and it doesn't even have a flip out screen. So hopefully this is in focus.
Girl.
Hopefully I got it right the first time because I might have to record this twice.
Girl, that is so funny because as you said that, I remembered like having like a mirror that I could see like myself in see the little reflect. I was like, this is so, I mean, that's just the way it was. So, you know, you just accepted it. But I remember going to the makeup show one year and the glam core lights were out. And then they're like, oh, we have it where you can put your phone here and record with your phone and the lights are, you know, are on you. And I'm like, dang, technology has gone so far.
Right. It's so awesome. Like, it's literally like, it's gone the other way. I mean, it's good in some ways, but it's also like a lot of the same, you get a lot of the same stuff at the same time, you know?
Yeah. Yep. It's
I
brilliant.
don't know. It's a love hate, maybe. Yeah.
Understood. I know how that love hate goes. Trust and believe. So let's talk about Franchesca Ramsey, because
Okay.
Francesca's everywhere and she's always looking bomb, and you were behind the looks.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
so tell us about this collaboration or this partnership or whatever we want to call it, this relationship. How did this get started?
Yeah, for sure. So Francesca and I met a while ago. We met on a set. I was working on a like a web series, and she just happened to be a guest. And so she comes in, and I started doing her makeup, and like immediately we just like bonded. It was so interesting. Like, and this was right around the time that I don't know if you watched the MTV show, the Decoded show that she does.
Only her clips.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's the web series that she works on. We're actually just finishing the fifth season right now.
Wow,
We've been working
fifth.
on it for yeah, we've been working on it for 2 years. So that we first met like right before that started, and I did her makeup, and she really loved it, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is great." And then she didn't really need anything for like a couple months, and then she called me right when Decoded started filming, and she was like, "Hey, are you free? I have to do my makeup for this event and or this taping," because they were doing. I think they were actually shooting the pilot, and so I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll like come in. Like that sounds great." So that was like the first time, and like ever since then, like I do her makeup for like red carpet stuff and like and a bunch of different events. She's amazing. I love Francesca. She's such a like really motivating, like just strong, like really like I don't know how to explain it. Like she's just like she's somebody that inspires you every day. You know, like she works really, really, really hard. Like, yeah, she's
I
great.
I can't imagine, because I mean, I've been, following her. Of course, we were all following her back in the day with like the comedy show. She was doing lock tutorials. So, I mean, I still refer to a Cheska Locks video where she used like the apple cider vinegar rinse, and she like washed her hair at the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this is life. And I always use that anytime because I can never remember the measurements, but she just always seemed like everybody's homegirl. And to see her now as, a married woman, she is an activist. She goes toe to toe with people on social media all day, every day, and
Right?
lights them up. And I'm like, you are so fascinating. Like you're
She
just,
is.
yeah, like you're just such a breath of fresh air. And it's so awesome to have people like her, on the web, and feel, she's one of the people that, she made it, and it feels good. It feels like we made it. I'm like, she just rocks. So
I know, I'm so excited. Like I'm just really excited for her because she really works hard. Like people who are like just out here really getting it every day. Like she like wakes up early, goes to the gym every day. Like you know what I mean? Like everything, every part of her life is like organized and just on it. It's inspiring to be around people like that.
that's so awesome.
So
Go girl. And
yeah.
she's been a lock crush forever, and I'm like, I need to go to
Oh
Natstar. There's a Natstar in Maryland, and there's one in New York, and
yeah, Annette does her hair for majority of her events too. And Annette and I work together all the time. Annette owns Napstar in New York.
that's so awesome. So funny random story, but their mom used to have a shop here in Maryland, and I used to go there to get my hair braided. Like,
What?
yes, so I know, I'm almost positive. I remember seeing her because I feel like it was like she has like a brother and a sister too,
Yeah,
or
she
something.
has one. I know she has a sister, and I think she also has a brother too.
Okay.
But she definitely has a sister. Her sister owns the one in DC.
Ah, okay. Okay. So that makes total sense. So
Yeah.
I remember, yeah, getting my hair done there a bunch of times, and I just loved them, and the mom was so sweet. And when I started to see like them growing on YouTube, I'm like, wait a minute, is that the same girl? Didn't I used to go to her mother? And now I'm like, oh, you're like a cult brand. Like people, you get your locks done at Napstar. Like that is the spot. So
Annette is amazing. She's so talented. She like literally, and she does hair so fast. Like when Annette and I normally work together, like she's doing hair while I'm doing makeup, and she's like, she's adding extensions. Like she's doing whatever, like literally just like flipping and twirling that hair. Like I just literally am like, girl, you are amazing. She's so cool.
That is the dopest thing. And let me just say, like, I worked really, really hard to listen or to watch. I don't know if it was like an Instagram video or a photo. I don't know. But those lock extensions, I was like, what the hell is this? How do I get them?
Well, stay tuned, man, because Annette's working on some stuff, and I feel like she's definitely gonna. I would stay connected to her Napstar_NYC page, and I think that's Annette's personal, and I think they have Napstar. I'll let you know in a little bit. I have to look it up, but yeah, they have the Napstar_NYC page. I'm sure she's gonna put it there.
Awesome. Perfect. I will. Yeah, I'll totally stay glued to that because I just need to be a part of their lives. Let's see. I had a bunch of questions and they're all gone, and I guess it doesn't matter.
I love that. It's cool. I feel like this has been really organic, so it's probably like more like people feel like we're hanging out and stuff, which is cool.
And I'm so here for it. I'm like totally scared that I guess I didn't really have much. Okay. This is it. This is my last question. Yay. Never mind.
Okay.
So as far as like your makeup must-haves, I mean, I can imagine there are a bunch, but do you have anything that we should be on the lookout for, or anything you're just like obsessed with? It's your cult fave, any of those kind of products?
That's a great question. I always love to add new things to my kit. I think for women of color, I think you should definitely check out AJ Crimson's line.
Ooh.
I think his foundations are like spot on when it comes to color. I think that they're great. I also really love his liquid lipsticks, like especially being working makeup artist. When you put on your lip, you want it to like stay on all day. They're like perfect for that. I always put like a little bit of like a chapstick or a balm whenever I'm using like a liquid lipstick, like just even for personal use, you know what I mean? Like blot it off and then like apply it. So that way at least you have some moisture that's being trapped in there. Otherwise it can tend to get like really dry.
Good tip.
Yeah, liquid lipsticks are a little tricky. And I'm trying to think about who else is good. I love Ombre Elise. I don't think Ombre Elise gets enough play in the like non-makeup artist world. Have you used their moisturizer?
Literally only when I went to the makeup show. Like I'd see their booth and I would like talk to them, and then that would be it.
Their stuff is so good, and I just don't know why it's not in like Sephora too. And it's like it's almost like just a makeup artist secret. Oh, and also I love Bioderma. I love their like water. Like they have like a micellar water that's like a cleansing water. Ooh. It's really good for like cleaning the skin, like making sure that everything is like there's no oil on your skin before you like start like doing like all your moisturizer and stuff. I love skin prep. That's like one of my bigger thing. So that's like kind of what I'm obsessed with.
Yes. And, let's get into skincare. I mean, you feel free. I would love to, because I'm totally on a skincare kick right now.
Are you using all natural products? That's what I'm obsessed with currently. I'm like, you're like, girl, no.
Girl, I have so many chemicals on this vanity right now. Like, I got acids, I have clays, and freaking I don't, I was big on that for like a while because I loved like Juice Beauty, and I was like using a ton of their stuff. Okay. And who else? I can't even remember who else I was using that was all natural. And then like I stumbled upon like the Korean skincare method, and
yeah, I've heard about that.
Oh my gosh.
Is it amazing?
Oh my gosh.
Girl, you're about to convert me. I'm over here using argan oil. You're gonna have me changed up.
You can use that, but it would be the very last step. So it's basically like it's basically like a 10-step process, which is what makes it a little intense, and it's morning and night. But from what I've heard, some people do anywhere between 6 steps and 18 steps. Like,
ooh,
so I was like, okay, let me tell you, I've never hit the 18. I've never hit 12. Most of the time I can't even hit the 10, but it goes from it's double cleansing, which is a huge thing. So it's an oil cleanser first and then your regular like foam cleanser. And then
Okay.
and then it goes into a toner, but it's always a toner with no astringent. Like they do not believe in alcohol or anything like that that dries out the skin. Um, then it goes to like I think your oh Aaron, you're messing up. I think your serums, emulsions, ampules, like it goes into like all this other stuff. Then your eye cream, then your moisturizer, then a lip balm, and then your facial oil after. So you can still use your argan oil just at the end.
At the end. Got
And
you.
but it is totally transforming my skin. And the brand that I'm like, I mean,
I was
absolutely,
just about to ask you about
girl.
that.
And the brand is not even a Korean brand. It's The Ordinary. Are you familiar with them?
Okay. No, I'm not. Are they amazing?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. So everything in their line is under $15. But what you're getting like full size, maybe, I mean they're not huge jars, but you're getting full size jars of like the active ingredients in most luxury skincare that we're obsessed with. So
Ooh.
I know. So Sunday Riley, Good Genes is
Hmm.
a cult fave, and their number one active ingredient is lactic acid. Well, from The Ordinary, you can buy either a 5% or a 10% lactic acid, and they're both under $10. Like, what the hell is
Ooh.
that? I mean, it's crazy, and you get results. So I'm using I I binged twice, and I bought like 7 products each time, or 5 or 6 products each time.
Hmm.
So I'm actually going in and out using a bunch of stuff, but I use like one mask that's like a AHA plus BHA, and it just totally just sloughs off. I mean, everything. And ever since I started using this, I've had like less blackheads. My pores are a lot smaller. I have really like textured skin, and
Hmm.
even my pores appear smaller. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff. They have a primer that they have one that's like silicone, I think one that's not, but it easily rivals Smashbox, and that one's like $8 or something like that. I mean, it's phenomenal skincare, and it's like it's taking the world by storm. So there are lots and lots of YouTube videos out there. That's how I found it.
Okay.
And I just dove in, and I was taking notes, and I'm writing stuff down, and I really want to do an episode on it, but this is when I know I got to stay in my lane, because girls are talking about this stuff, and they are like chemists. So they're like, well, this one balances this out, and if you get the 4%, it's better than the 8% times 2, and then if you use this, it double. And it's like stuff that I don't understand. So
Right.
I really don't. I don't want to give the wrong information. And they're like, "Girl, you whack. You should, you don't even talk about it because you don't know what you're talking about." I don't want to be that person. So
No, I know. No, I know exactly what you mean. Those kind of things kind of scare me. Like,
yeah,
yeah, like have you seen people do like you see people do the chemical peels?
yes, yes,
Girl, I'm like, y'all are playing around.
yes,
you you gonna mess around and really burn your skin off.
yes,
And
yes.
you're gonna be in a worse position than you were when it happened. Because I mean, people really do get like chemical burns are a real problem, even if you go to a licensed esthetician. Like that can happen. So it's like I'm like scared about those kinds of things. But this Korean, you'll definitely have to send me the link to that. That sounds amazing. I'm like I've been definitely using an oil cleanser. And
Okay.
then after that, I've been using a regular cleanser. My friend Jacob he works with Alcone,
Oh,
and he like recommended they have this line at Limelight by Alcone that's like a really nice cleanser where it's like kind of like it doesn't foam up, but I guess you could do kind of like a foamy version too if you wanted, but it's like no sulfates or any of that. So that's what I use to clean my skin. Then after that, well, actually, I've been using that with a Clarisonic lately because I'm like, okay, maybe it'll give me a little bit more cleanse.
yeah.
But I don't know though. I have a love-hate relationship with the Clarisonic because sometimes I feel like it's breaking me out more.
Oh no.
I know. But anyway, so yeah, I do that. And then after I'm finished, I'm like, okay, now my skin is probably pretty clean. So like, then I'll, dry it off or whatever. I'll put argan oil and I'll put tea tree oil on any spots that I need. And then that's it. That's my nighttime routine.
That's fantastic. Well, I really don't want to get you into K beauty then, because that's gonna be shot.
I know you're like that. You're like, you're going to change it all up. But you know what though? I love a skincare routine. And to be honest, I don't have any issue using 10 different steps. Like some people would be like, I can't do all that. I'd be like, girl, if it's going to keep my skin clear and everything's going to be looking good. I mean, we're in the business of beauty. We have to like take care of our skin. It's really important.
Amen, sister. I totally agree. And I really believe that has changed a lot for me. I mean, I was totally team like cleanser, toner, moisturizer, keep it moving. Like that was it. And
Yeah.
there were a couple of people. The woman that I like obsessed with. Her name is Gothamista
Okay.
on YouTube. She is the truth. And she's one of those people where like, the notification gang pops up and they're just so hyped because she's going to preach about whatever skincare. So she's had like several videos just on, exfoliators, and they don't use anything abrasive. So I'm so used to using a scrub, or even a Clarisonic is like frowned upon because they feel like it's too abrasive. And it's so crazy because that's just not what we're taught. It's like you're supposed to have a Clarisonic. Like how else are you going to get in there? And they're like, well, if you use an AHA, that's like the topical chemical, it'll get all the stuff, slough the stuff off the surface of the skin. But using BHAs, that's what really gets inside and opens up all the gunk, and then you can get the blackheads out easier, and the whiteheads and the sebum.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so there's also a book, it's by Charlotte Cho, and it is called like The Little Book of Skincare, I think. I mean, it's a tiny book. I mean, it's probably not even 100 pages, but it's a K-beauty book. So she basically just walks you through what everything does in a little routine. And I'm really, really excited to hopefully one day get somebody like a professional in K-beauty on the show. Because I would love to
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, like I would love to just talk about my experience and everything, but I really want somebody who knows their stuff. So it's like big business now. Soko Glam and what is the other one? Glow Recipe are like two really big, like amazing companies. They're in New York. Oh my gosh, you have to go.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just realized, yeah, they're both in New York, and they have like really great YouTube videos that they do themselves, but the shops are awesome and the products are just insane. And sheet masks. I forgot to include that in the routine. So you pretty much use a sheet mask like every night.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that takes like 20 or 30 minutes as it is. And
Okay.
that includes an essence, and I forgot to include that in the list. So yeah, it's just basically all about hydration and hitting your, whatever spot you need to treat. You can spot treat it. And your eye masks, it's all coming to me.
I love it. I mean, I've had pretty much acne, like adult acne, like for the like I think since I've been like maybe 22, 23. And so it's been a minute. Like I've literally just been like trying all of these different things, and it's really intense. Like it's like the thing about adult acne is it like flares up for different reasons. Like you never know why. Like you never know really why, like what's happening or whatever. So I did like an extreme diet change too. Like I did Whole30.
Oh, how was that?
It's actually on my YouTube channel. Girl, it was hard. And I didn't cheat at all. Like I know some people are like, girl, I tried. I did like a kind of no. I'm one of those people who's kind of like an extremist. Like when I'm doing something, it needs to be done like completely correct. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything needs to be right. So like I was like, okay, so no sugar, no like, you know what I mean? Like you can't, I mean, you could add like salt or pepper or whatever. That stuff is totally fine. But like they kind of want you to limit, how much you're adding. Then like and then for me, I didn't even they have like, so basically it's like no dairy, no gluten, no, oh my gosh, no soy. What else can you not do? Basically, you can't eat anything else besides like chicken and vegetables.
Wow.
And then like eventually what happened is like halfway through I eliminated eggs. They said eggs were fine, but I was like, I don't know if eggs are breaking me out. Like I was just trying to figure out what was going on. So I was like, no, I took out eggs. I took out nuts from the very beginning. So like I was just I know it was crazy. So I was hungry like all the time. I was eating like all the time, and I was hungry all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, because your body can't like all that protein. I also found out I did a lot of like research on like having too much of like an acidic diet. Like basically like your body processes a lot of fruits and like fruits mostly, not really vegetables, but fruits and meat as acid. And so acid can also help like flare up things in your body too. So you kind of have to watch like the what is it called? Because this was something I was playing. Oh, the alkalinity in your food.
Oh, Jesus.
I know, it's insane. So like now I'm just like I watch it still now. I mean, I don't eat soy or dairy at all, and I kind of limit the amount of gluten that I have in general, just because I'm just like I don't know if I have any allergies to it, but I'm just like it's better to eat clean and like not really worry about it. Sugar is also kind of a one I stay away from, but yeah, I don't know. I'm with it though. I'll try something that's extreme for sure. So I would definitely be down to try the Korean beauty skincare. And I don't know what I'm waiting on. So many people have told me you need to try it. Like so many people have said it's good. I don't know what I'm waiting on.
Girl, yes, it is everything. It is everything. And when you start trying it, let me know. And I mean, one day, I mean, we can always, go through products. I mean, at this point where I screwed up and, do this, if you want, but I tried everything all at once, and now I don't know what's working and what's not. Yeah. Like I was way too excited, and I'm like, okay, I have to get all of the serums and I have to do the toners, and I can't just have one toner, like, or the ordinary.
Have all the toners.
Exactly. So now I'm like, I basically rotate like 5 or 6 different cleansers and 4 toners and like 11 serums and 4 essences. Like it's just
Ordinary got you because they were like, it's 15 each. You were like, okay, cool.
Girl, exactly. And then Beautylish ended up selling it. So at first you could only go through the Ordinary, but then once Beautylish had it, they have really great descriptions, and they have routines and all kinds of stuff there. And they sell you, like they came on Facebook Live one day. Oh my gosh, wait, I forgot to tell you. They actually just came out with a skincare based foundation. So there's two. So yeah, the foundation is built in. So one is like, I think, a lighter coverage, and there's another that's a full coverage. But I don't know how much they cost. They're both definitely under $20. But I mean, it was like the wait list was insane. It was like over 200,000 people. It was nuts.
No way.
It was insane. Like it was
what were the colors looking like?
They have like, I would say at least 20 plus colors, but the brown girl colors, like there's one that's like dark. Then there's like basically like a NC50 and a NW45, and then it goes like straight to, I don't know. I could be wrong. I
W60. Like, you're like, wait a second.
This is why I heart you.
You're like y'all skipped everybody in between.
And you went to the W60. I've never sold a W60 before in my life.
I know. Well, we didn't even. I remember they had it and then they took it away and then they brought it back. You remember that?
No.
It was like yeah. Like I remember their range was very inclusive, and then it went down. And it could have also been just my store. It's not like I was checking the online thing all the time, but I remember that we used to have it, and then we didn't have it. And I was like, we don't have the right shades in here. Cause, yeah, man, sometimes the way some of these companies are with that really bothers me too, especially with these really high end brands. Like why can't all of my girls use Chanel? Why can't all of my girls use like, like, come on, guys. Like, what is this?
Exactly. And I'm like, is it really that? I don't want to say is it that difficult.
It's not hard. It's pigment. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, the formulation can't change that much just because you change the color. I can't imagine.
That's real. No, that's real. And yeah, I don't get it either. I remember I was at some event when they had just launched Lancome's Tint-Idol foundation, and they were like, it took like this amount of years to make, and we had to they brought Black scientists in to make this happen. And I'm like, wow, it took y'all all that to make a foundation that matched us, huh? Like,
I know, because they don't care. That's why. It's like, if you don't care, then obviously you can't, you know what I mean? You can't change anything. And they also expanded that range a lot when Lupita became one of their spokesperson, because I remember what that range was like before she started working with them, and it was not as good as it is now.
That's an interesting point. That's a really great point. Yeah, she did open up a
Thank
lot
you,
of doors.
Lolita.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you, girl. We appreciate you.
Ain't that the truth? Well, I know this has lasted way longer than it was supposed to. Delina, you rock in so many ways. I cannot thank you enough for letting me interview you. And I can't wait to see what you're gonna do. I can't wait to see what you come up with, because I mean, Cheska's everywhere. And what do you have coming up? Can you kind of give us any details?
Yeah, so Franchesca Ramsey well, she just sold a pilot, so that's really exciting, and that should be coming up. Hopefully, we'll be working on it soon. I don't know too much about it, but that's with Comedy Central, and that's really exciting. So that hopefully will be something for us to work together on. And I'm trying to think about anything else I personally have going on. Actually, this month I'm working on putting together a project for, I'm doing something with a high school prom.
Oh,
And I'm getting a bunch of makeup artists, hairstylists, manicurists, and we're going to get these girls looking real cute for prom. So I'm super excited about it. Yeah, I'm really, really, really excited about it, because prom is one of those things that, like, it was one of my first explorations into makeup myself. And I just remember, like, being like, I have no idea how to do my own face. And that was kind of like, that was kind of intense. So I'm hoping that we can give them, like, more of a glam experience. Plus, it's like, now, like, prom is, like, all the social media stuff. I'm sure they're going to care a lot more about, like, how they look. And it's not just, like, a photo you may or may not see. It's like, everybody's like, what did you wear? And it's, like, immediate,
amen. Yeah.
I don't even think we had cell phone pics back then.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we didn't.
No, we didn't have that. So I'm working on that, and just freelancing, wanting to do more work in fashion and beauty, hopefully some advertising. That would be amazing. And excited. Happy to be in New York. Thanks, babe.
I love that story, because there are so many people that I think are scared to take the leap to do the move, and you did the move, and you're killing it in the move. So
thank you.
That's just dope. That's awesome. So tell us where we can find you on social and around the web and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So I post on Instagram almost every day. So that is at Delina Medhin, Delina, last name Medhin, Medhin. And pretty much everywhere, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that's at Delina Medhin. And also YouTube is /Delina Medhin as well.
Yes, branding. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, we have it all the same everywhere.
Girl, yes, that is a major win. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know where to find. Even I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, I can't remember if I changed. Like, I changed back to Scandalous Beauty when I was coming up with the podcast, and I was like, but wait, that's so confusing. And now I need an Aaron Bainham, and now I'm splitting up audiences, and it's annoying. And you have the dream. You did it right. Yeah, it was awesome. So,
well, I think we all started out with an alias. Like my first thing that I came up with for my YouTube channel was Cleverly Me. That was my name on YouTube for
I love it. And it was back when we were just like making up names. Like, I remember I was looking at something with Jackie Ina, and I was like, oh, I remember Little Pumpkin Pie. Like, that was just
Pie 05. Yeah.
Wasn't that an awesome interview? Like, we could have gone on for another hour, but it was really late and I didn't want to hold her too long. But I had so much fun, and I look forward to doing more beauty conversations like this in the future. So if you have any requests, please tweet me at Aaron Bainham or send me an email at aaron@scandalousbeautyonline.com. I will be working on some contests very soon. Just got to solidify some things, and a brand new website for Scandalous Beauty and the show notes. So if you want to find out more about guests and products and me, if you want, I don't know, you can come over to scandalousbeautyonline.com, but the new website will be out very, very soon. So again, thank you so much for listening. I will see you soon for a new episode. When you get a chance, please rate and review and suggest the podcast to a friend. That would be really awesome. Thank you so much, and I will see you for the next episode. Peace.